That's what PC Magazine says. They gave them their editor's choice again, 7th year in a row for 2021. Plans are very affordable. Less than $7 a month. Right now, though, the best in the business costs less. 90% off for your whole first year. All you have to do, go to iDrive.com. You need this thing, iDrive. Leo Laporte, Team Tech Guy. Have a great week.
At a prestigious consumer electronics show, the winner for best product might surprise you because it went to technology found in a mattress. Sit and Sleep introduces the new Smart Life mattress by King Coil.
Inside every Smart Life is something revolutionary. 80 patented smart cells that cradle you with personalized support and let you and your sleep partner adjust your comfort level.
Smart Life even has a feature Sleep Number doesn't. A soothing relaxation mode that massages you to sleep or gently wakes you up in the morning.
Before you buy a Sleep Number bed, you owe it to yourself to try Smart Life's revolutionary smart cell technology. Stop by any Sit and Sleep or make an appointment today, where you can shop safely with your own personal protector to lay on.
And Sit and Sleep will deliver, set up, and remove your old mattress for free. So for the latest innovations in sleep, make the smart move. Try the new Smart Life mattress from King Coil at Sit and Sleep today.
Cast iron! Lift that cast iron! You're doing good!
Hey, hon. Sweetie.
Yeah, hon.
I need to make dinner. I need that pan.
You can't always do home workouts how you'd want, but now you can sip what you want. Heineken 00. It tastes great, only has 69 calories, and absolutely zero alcohol.
Well, here, lift these. 2 Heineken 00.
Oh, right. Dumbbells I can drink. 0.
Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy it responsibly.
Hey, all you folkers, boy, do we have a show for you coming up. We're going to get into Technique of the Week. We're going to talk about butter. I love butter. Then we're going to talk about Danny Boy's Pizza. We're going to get Paul, you heard last week, from Blue Dog Beer Tavern there in the Valley. He's going to be coming on. We got a lot to get to, so don't go anywhere. It is the Fourth Report. I'm Neil Saavedra. Coming up next on KFI AM 640.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't let KFI fill you in once in a while, you could miss it.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Bad Apple. I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A former Orange County Sheriff's Department deputy who has already been indicted on multiple felony charges has now been charged with allegedly stealing a dead woman's credit cards and trying to use them to make several $1,000s worth of purchases. Steve Hortz responded on August 19th of last year to the woman's home in Yorba Linda for a welfare check and found the woman dead inside. Most of the purchases Hortz attempted to make were declined. A man has been slashed with a knife after confronting another man peeking into car windows in a neighborhood in Riverside. Police say the peeking guy pulled out a knife after the man who lives in the neighborhood confronted him yesterday morning. A knife has been recovered. The alleged slasher has been arrested. The man who confronted him is expected to be okay. 3 members of the Tustin School District Board are facing recall over claims that critical race theory was being hidden inside the curriculum.
Recall supporters say the board ignored requests from parents about a white savior assignment. Organizer Cindy Lee says parents had to put in public records requests to get the truth.
The lesson plan has things such as BLM movement, LGBTQ, teaching kids oppressed versus oppressor.
She says school should be about math and science.
It is really about returning to traditional academics, improving our schools, and also holding our school board accountable.
Lee says signature gathering starts Monday. The 3 board members and Tustin School District declined to comment. In Tustin, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
LAPD Chief Moore says he's been keeping an eye on how other police departments around the U.S. are dealing with refugees coming into the U.S. from Afghanistan.
We're also working with our state and federal officials in understanding the resettlement plan. Currently, Los Angeles is not a destination for any major resettlement effort.
Moore says he's reached out to Afghan community leaders in Reseda to reassure them if refugees are sent to L.A., the department will work to make them safe. The FBI is looking into claims by a female soldier. She was assaulted at an Afghan refugee camp in New Mexico. Officials at Fort Bliss in El Paso say the soldier reported the attack by a small group of male evacuees at the Donna Ana complex last week. Officials say they beefed up security, are adding extra lighting, and enforcing the buddy system. The camp north of the base in Texas was set up to house evacuees following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Pollution has joined a list of problems caused by dozens of cargo ships stuck outside the ports of L.A. and Long Beach. Coalition for Clean Air President Joe Liu says the ports have struggled with pollution for decades, and that was with an average of just one ship waiting at anchor.
It's a big, big mess right now, and there are no easy fixes, and it's probably going to stay bad for the foreseeable future.
Liu says every stakeholder along the supply chain will have to come together for a solution. Port officials say the warehouses are full, but the ships just keep coming. Stevie Wonder, Demi Lovato, and Her are among the performers who will take the stage at the Greek Theater tonight as part of a 24-hour global concert designed to promote worldwide equity and COVID-19 vaccine distribution. The event is also to combat poverty, starvation, and climate change. The Global Citizen Live concert originates from 9 stages around the globe. The concert will be streamed in full over 24 hours on YouTube, Hulu, Apple TV, and ABC News Live. We've got a crash in South LA on the 110.
Northbound at Vernon is blocking the 2 middle lanes, so that has you slowly crawling from the 105. Diamond Bar in the 57 southbound just after the 60. Approaching Grand Avenue, you'll see a wreck there blocking the 2 right lanes, so it's a stop-and-go ride from Sunset Crossing Road. And in Ontario on the 10 westbound in between the 15 and Haven Avenue, a work zone there. Past the 3 right lanes close off until 6 a.m. Monday. Your drive is busy right now from Cherry. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
Got a pretty decent weekend, but might see some showers next.
Contractor license 1047-781. Imagine running a marathon in the desert in the summer. And this marathon doesn't have a finish line. In this marathon, you run till you drop. It's called the air conditioner marathon. In places like Minneapolis or Portland, or any of them other places where it don't get real hot, air conditioners can last 20 years or more. But down here where birds burst into flames in midair and fall down fully roasted from the skies, Zach. Yeah? What are you doing? I'm helping people understand this ain't important. Here in the desert, air conditioners last about 11 years. But you don't have to spend money on a snowblower, or salt for that icy sidewalk, or windshield de-icer for your car. Zach, I don't think they need any of those things in Portland. Did I say Portland? I meant to say Minneapolis. A new AC from Kettle will keep your home cooler and use a lot less energy. So if you think your AC might be about ready to go to air conditioner heaven, call Kettle. GLETTL will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
Southland weather from KFI. Slight chance of some showers or thunderstorms this afternoon and evening for the mountains and inland empire. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Low clouds spreading inland overnight with lows in the 50s to low 60s. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Highs around 70 at the coast, around 80 for Metro LA and inland OC. 70s and 80s in the valleys and inland empire. Then cooling down a bit more as we head into next week with highs in the upper 60s at the beaches, mid 70s to mid 80s inland. It's 79 in Brea, 79 in Lake Forest, 66 in Marina Del Rey, 82 in Burbank. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Amy King.
Hey, Kayla.
Yeah, Neil?
What do you call a person who can't decide what kind of pizza to get?
What?
Indecisive.
Let me teach you how to eat. Let me teach you how to eat. How to marinate the...
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on that there iHeartRadio app. Hey, everybody, it's the Port all things food, beverage, and beyond. I am your well-fed host, Neil Cervedra. How do you do? Thanks for hanging out. We got a lot to get to today. We got some great guests from local restaurants. You know, everybody's still struggling, trying to make ends meet, buying staff, buying crew. We love to shine a light on them. We'll do that coming up in just a little bit. Also find out about just great food. How about that? And for Technique of the Week, let's get into butter, shall we? Butter. There was a story in the Wall Street Journal, and I must have been sent this story by at least 5 people. I don't know, butter. People love butter. And the headline read, "This is better than butter," whether you're cooking steaks or roasting vegetables. And we've talked about this actually many, many times on the show, but I thought it'd be nice to get back into butter and explain what people refer to as culinary gold. It's something often referred to as ghee or clarified butter. Small differences depending on, ghee comes from India, and their process, I think, is really one of the best for clarified butter. It gets a little extra nuttiness. So what ends up happening is you cook out certain parts of the butter and then you sieve them out. So you cook it down, separate it, and sieve them out. And in that process, you end up having something that is just pure butter fat. You don't have the milk solids, you don't have those things, and that will be part of our discussion today. But I thought instead of just focusing on ghee or clarified butter, I'd go through all the different types of butter. So I'll get into this and I'll explain how to make it coming up in a moment. But let's start with the basics. Unsalted butter. Often you'll see it labeled sweet cream butter. Same. And super versatile. It's used a lot in cooking and baking. The reason why it is used often in cooking and baking so that the person baking or cooking can control the level of salt. In baking, I understand there's a lot of control there. I've always thought this notion was silly. You're talking about like a quarter teaspoon of salt. That's what's in a stick of butter. I think a lot of this, I've read article after article after article, that some people, that there was kind of a conversion problem when some of the old recipes were kind of brought into modern day. But for whatever reason, people swear by this. And that's because different makers might put different amounts of salt in it. And I get all of that. But if you're using the same brand from the same location all the time, I think you know how to compensate. There's salt in all kinds of things. There's salt in cheese. So I always thought it was a little, I hear people swearing by it all the time, and bakers will probably come at me, but they're the pros, I'm not. But I always thought that it's just one of those weird culinary things get passed down. So I have both here, and really unsalted is used for cooking and baking for the most part, and then salted butter is used as a spread. When you're putting it on top of something, like a piece of great bread, or even if you're topping off, I don't know, rice or something, I will use it. Salted butter is exactly like sweet cream butter. It just has that quarter teaspoon of salt in it. That's the reality. So those are the type of things that you have the most in the house. Those are probably what you have most. You could do one or the other. If you have unsalted, just put a little salt on it. I had some wonderful, wonderful butter the other day and some bread, and the way it was served is with this gorgeous chunk of butter and with a side of salt, like finishing salt. Beautiful. And you could literally take that, put it onto your bread, and then sprinkle a little salt on it if you wish. Not a problem. Easy peasy. So let's get into the clarified butter part. This is what people refer to as culinary gold, and I'll tell you why. So the milk fat is rendered from the butter. And you separate the milk solids and the water from the butter fat. So you're cooking it at a low temperature, and as you're cooking it, when you put butter in a pan, you know how it bubbles and kind of sizzles a little bit? Well, the reason that is that the fat is starting to heat up, And what does it mix? Oil and water. So when you melt the butter down from a solid, the water in there starts to evaporate because the oil is heating up. That's why things make noise when you deep fry them. And that's why you don't want to put a frozen turkey, deep fry a frozen turkey for people who have done that. I have not, but I've seen the pictures. Because oil and water don't mix. They have even less good times when the oil is hot. So that part of sizzling, once it starts to stop sizzling, then the water's gone. It's evaporated. Next, you're going to see these little bits of the milk fat start separating, and that's the process. Then you take it and you put it through a sieve and a cheesecloth that will catch all that milk fat, and what you'll have is clarified butter. No water in it, and the milk solids removed. What does that do? Well, it gives it a nutty flavor because that milk fat in the process of rendering starts to caramelize and get that nutty flavor to it, which is wonderful. But really what it does is it changes the smoke point. Smoke point is important in oils and fats because that means the smoke point is when they start to break down. That's when they lose some of their properties. That's when they start to get nasty smelling and things like that, and end up bringing a foul odor and taste to something rather than the loveliness that they're supposed to. Butter comes in at about 325, 375. That's when it starts to break down. That's when it starts to smoke really heavily. And that's why sauteing in butter, usually you'll cut it with some olive oil or something like that. The olive oil has a higher smoke point, kind of takes care of that and buffers the butter. But what you can do is saute. When you're doing steaks, if you're going to sear them off, you're roasting vegetables, you can use clarified butter or ghee, and that'll boost that smoke point up to around 485. So you get about 100-degree higher heat out of clarified butter that doesn't have that milk fat. Also, a lot of it has the lactose, the casein, that is the lactose, and all of that kind of wicked out. And so those that are intolerant or have a milk allergy usually can handle clarified butter even better. So you melt that butter, allow the things to separate, water evaporates, solids float to the surface, you skim them off, put them through a sieve and a cheesecloth, and what's left over is this beautiful pure butter fat with a higher smoke point, still has great flavor of butter, has a little nuttiness, great on popcorn, all of these things. It's a great thing to do. But every once in a while, everybody starts praising it again, and it's been around forever. So we'll get back to butter, more different types of butter, organic, whipped butter, European style, all these things when we return with Technique of the Week. It is the Fourth Report. I'm Neil Saavedra. Let's get the news with Amy.
Okay, the Grand Princess will set sail from the Port of Los Angeles today, the first cruise ship to leave San Pedro since the pandemic lockdowns in March of 2020. The ship will be at up to 75% capacity when it leaves for a 5-day trip to Cabo San Lucas. Firefighters are looking for shifting winds and cooler temperatures to help them gain the upper hand on a 6,500-acre fire burning north of Redding. A woman who was in the area where the fire began Wednesday afternoon has been charged with arson. Several celebrities have taken to Twitter to support the union that represents crews in Hollywood. The union says it's moving forward with a strike authorization after talks broke down. Actress Kerry Washington tweeted, "You may not see them on screen, but they are the magic makers and the glue that holds any set together." We'll check some trouble on the 405 next.
Hey man, coming home to your house is more than just feeling the safety and security of a structure, you know. It is something you should be proud of. This is what you're busting your hump for all week. My wife and I have done a lot of remodeling and renovation and all of these things in our place over the past couple of years. But the French doors, the stunning kitchen windows from American Vision Windows brought some of the most dramatic, beautiful, just wonderful changes to our home. And we've heard Bill and Kathleen's story for a long time around here. Horrible experience. When they replaced their own windows, they started their own company, American Vision Windows. So you fast forward 20 years, they're still bringing warmth, light, beauty to homes like mine every single day. CSLB number 778326. I recommend them to friends and family. They've used them. They love them like I do. Trust the window company that I trust. My family trusts. My friends trust. American Vision Windows. Give them a call. Get that free estimate today. 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or check out their monthly specials. Go to AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Low clouds overnight, lows in the 50s and 60s. Mostly sunny with highs around 70 at the beaches tomorrow. Low to upper 80s inland. This report brought to you by Jack in the Box. We've got a stall in Inglewood on the 405.
That's northbound at Century Boulevard. It's stuck in the right lane, so your drive is heavy from the 105. Pacoima on the 5 northbound just before the 118. There's a crash blocking the second lane from the left, so it's a busy ride for you from Bramford Street. Also on the 5 northbound in Newhall, that's at the 14. A stalled car is stuck in the middle lane, so it's a stop-and-go ride from the 210. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
1 in 6 kids could face hunger due to the coronavirus. This September, visit your local Jack in the Box to help end childhood hunger. Donate $1 to No Kid Hungry and get a free small curly fry with any menu purchase.
This report is sponsored by Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. Summer may be almost over, but there's still time to get super prices on a super selection of new Hondas. During the final days of the Honda Summer Sales Event, return your Honda lease to one of their 5 lease return super centers and upgrade today. Online at normreeves.com.
I can create a future that I look forward to.
I can get where I was meant to go.
I can transfer to a 4-year university.
When you pursue an associate degree for transfer at a California community college, you're on your way to earning your guaranteed saved spot at a 4-year university.
With an associate degree for transfer, I can do this.
Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at icangotocollege.com.
Running a business comes with pressure. Remote workforces, HR compliance, retaining top talent. You start to feel boxed in. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30-plus years of HR service and technology to work, offering my employees competitive benefit options while lightening my HR load. Instead of obstacles, I'm surrounded by people empowered to be their best. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Want a new set of wheels without spending hours at car dealerships? Download the Roto app. That's R-O-D-O. You can browse thousands of vehicles from your phone, buy a car in minutes, and even have it delivered. Plus, Roto finds every discount available, so you know you're always getting the best price, with no hidden fees. Listen, if you're ready to buy a car, make it easy on yourself and go with Roto. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's ROTO.com.
Get your daily dose of California with the Times. Daily news from the LA Times. Join your host, LA Times journalist Gustavo Arellano, as he unpacks our world with a West Coast perspective. Listen and subscribe today at latimes.com/the Times or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is Josh Kelly, running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. Vaccinations change the game. Nearly all new COVID-19 deaths are among the unvaccinated. Don't risk it. Protect yourself by getting vaccinated. All the vaccines offer strong protection against variants like Delta, which spread faster and are easier to catch. Getting vaccinated is quick, free. It doesn't just protect you, it protects your family and community. Find a clinic near you at vaccinateall58.com. Play your best defense. Vax up.
If you haven't seen Alaska in the fall, you haven't seen Alaska. When vibrant reds and yellows paint the mountains and tundra, abundant wildlife frolic before the onset of winter, trophy rainbow trout choke the rivers, and overhead, the midnight sun gives way to the northern lights. Plus, the lighter crowds make traveling here safer than ever. No question, fall is the perfect time to see Alaska. Visit travelalaska.com and get ready to fall in love.
We're recruiting for a clinical trial for a possible treatment to help those infected by COVID-19. If you're 18 or over and have tested positive for COVID-19 during the past 5 days, you may be eligible to participate. There's a clinical trial located nearby, and participation is voluntary. You may stop at any time. Participants will receive study-related care at no cost. To learn more, visit merckcovidresearch.com. That's MERCK COVIDresearch.com.
The 50th annual LA Wine Fest, presented by Lumify, 19 Crimes, and Water's Edge Winery, October 2nd and 3rd at Harry Bridges Memorial Park in Long Beach. Enjoy unlimited wine tasting from award-winning wineries from around the globe, plus craft brews, hard ciders, and more. The waterfront park location provides a perfect space to taste wine, where live music, fun, and wine education come together, supporting the LA Boys and Girls Club and other charities. For tickets or more information, visit LAWinefest.com. That's LAWinefest.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
And AMCO offers payment plan options for almost any credit situation, so it's easier than ever to fix it fast and pay it off slow.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
Good Rising. The Good Risings podcast is a collection of 6 mini shows curated to give you a daily shot of inspiration, motivation, humor, relationship advice, and even astrology. You can choose to listen to one or all of the daily Good Risings offerings available on our feed. It's the perfect daily practice for anyone looking to lead a more intentional, mindful, and inspired life. Listen to the Good Risings podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time. Take back the power. What's the plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time. Take back the power. What you gonna do?
Love that song. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on that there iHeartRadio app. Hey everybody, it's the fourth report, all things food, beverage, and beyond. We focus on shaking off the heaviness of the week and getting into stuff we love, and that's good food, good conversation. A lot to get to today. We're going to introduce you to some folks that have restaurants and some food you're going to want to put in your mouth, all that great stuff. Right now we're in the middle of Technique of the Week. The technique we're looking at is butter, using butter, what kinds of butter, knowing your butter, yum, yum, yum. They go back and forth, and I know that we have people that don't eat animal products of any kind, and we respect them. We respect everybody in their dietary limitations or dietary needs or dietary beliefs. It's all welcome. But I will tell you that I am not somebody who will demonize something over something else, because I just hate that. I think it causes problems with eating. I think it causes disorders. I think it causes all kinds of problems. We have learned over the years that animal fats are good. They can be nutritious and they can be valuable in cooking. We've also learned that when we tried to mess with fats and margarine and things like that, growing up was very popular with us, that it didn't have the benefits that once were thought and actually caused some problems. So I will say that I absolutely use animal fats. I eat animals too, so it doesn't go against the way I live, but I want to recognize that out of respect to those that might have issues with it. Moving on from clarified butter to organic butter. Comes from cattle raised without antibiotics, which really, the way we've moved through farming and having to use things like antibiotics and growth hormones and all those things, I'm equally as down upon as I am for proper raising and the proper care of these animals. I know that might seem contradictory to some, but I just tell you, the antibiotics in there, the growth hormones, all that stuff is more garbage than we need. So organic butter is raised without those things, antibiotics, growth hormones. They're given 100% organic feed, grown without toxic pesticides, synthetic fertilizer, all of that, and you can find it in unsalted and salted, and use it just like conventional butter. Whip butter. This has air or other gas, like nitrogen, and it's added to make it less dense than standard butter. So kind of a little goes a long way. This increased volume is, less calories per tablespoon. It could even be half. And it's got a lighter texture, but just keep in mind it's got less calories because it's got more air in it. Best for spreading on toast, finishing dishes. It's not recommended for baking or cooking at all. It's just a spread. It's to spread, easier to spread because it's got the air in it and it's lighter and whipped and all that. European style butter, which a lot of people love, I do too. This is, why French croissants are so lovely and airy and delicious. It's got extra milk fat, 82 to 85% for most brands. So your European style butter has less moisture. It's got less of that water in there than standard butter. And it's got all that milk fat in it. So this is like the opposite of clarified butter. Makes pastries tender, fluffy cakes. It's made with fermented or cultured cream. So it has a little bit of tang to it. And it could be used for any sort of cooking task. Spreadable butter is regular butter and some vegetable oil added in, so it spreads easier. Not recommended for baking or cooking again. Light butter, it has less than 40% or less of milk fat. Not recommended for baking or cooking also. Butter-like spread, keep that in mind, not recommended for baking or cooking either. It's just like a buttery flavored spread. So that's the basic breakdown of your butters to use, but enjoy. Just butter is one of those wonderful, wonderful things in the world. All right, we'll be back with more, so go nowhere. It is the Fourth Report. I'm Neil Saavedra, KFI Am 640. Let's get the latest news now with Amy King in that there KFI newsroom.
The union that represents thousands of crew members in the Hollywood entertainment industry is getting closer to a strike. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees says it'll move forward with a strike authorization vote. The vote needs 75% approval to pass. The union has been bargaining with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers for months. Some of the key points during negotiations are pay and more rest periods between shifts. News brought to you by Duthie Power Services. Pacific Gas and Electric has been criminally charged in connection with a fire near Reading last year that killed 4 people. Shasta County DA Stephanie Bridget says the company was negligent about